Having emotional intelligence is probably one of the most important things that you could possibly have in sales. But will it make you you money? And if so, how? So in this video, I'm going to answer all of that and even show you how you can start to learn emotional intelligence. That way you can live the life that you've actually been wanting to live. Just to let you know, you definitely want to stick till the end of this video because how you actually learn it is probably the most important point that I'm gonna make. If you're new to this channel, my name is Zach. I've been in sales for over 5 years now, and I have sold over $10 million of products and services. So I'm here to tell you, you can trust my opinion when it comes to sales. Or if you don't want to, that's totally fine too. So let's go ahead and dive right into point number 1. What is emotional intelligence? Now, I'm not going to give you some scientific and pure definition of what emotional intelligence is. I'm just going to give you my opinion of what it actually is. And from my perspective and my opinion, it's just knowing what to say, when to say it, and how to say it based on the situation that you're in a conversation. Meaning you really have to be able to feel what is going on in the conversation. How is that other person in front of you feeling? What are their emotions like? Can you tell? Can you read it? And most importantly, can you actually react to it? That is one of the most important parts. Now, the flip side to this, of course, for you, what is emotional intelligence for you? That is the ability to actually be able to control your emotions and learn how to use them properly in a conversation, especially in sales. So now that you know a little gist of what emotional intelligence is, and if that didn't help you, of course, there is a sweet, awesome online tool called Google. You can always use that and Google what emotional intelligence is. But moving on to point number 2, will it actually make you money, especially in a job just like sales? And my short answer to this is yes, of course, especially in sales. Because if you're able to really understand what's happening in a conversation, how somebody else is feeling, how you are able to control your emotions and be able to really understand their point of view, be able to communicate that properly, that will make you an insane amount of money. And the reason it's going to make you an insane amount of money is because that person begins to like you because you understand what they're going through, you understand what to say, when to say it, and how to say it, and most importantly, they like you. They like you. Again, I already said that, but I want to make sure that that point is super driven across because at the end of the day, in sales, people don't buy products and services, they buy people. If they like you, they're going to buy it. And if the product works, that's even better, right? But if they like you, they are going to buy from you specifically. I've had multiple different times in my sales career where people would literally come just to me to buy whatever it was I was selling. Whether it was cars, whether it was shoes at one point, right? Whether it was my services online, they didn't care what I was selling because they just liked me. And the reason for that is because I had really good emotional intelligence the first time I was speaking to them. I made a good first impression. I was able to understand what they were telling me, and I was also able to control my emotions and be able to communicate in a very good manner. So in turn, I got multiple sales out of one individual or 2 individuals all the time. And that obviously accumulates when you're talking to multiple people every single day. Now, in a sales job, if you are talking to multiple people every day, and let's just say you've been at that job for a while, somebody at some point will come and buy from you again because they like you, and they might even buy the same or similar product again. For example, if you are in in-person sales, insurance, cars, whatever the case may be, they will come and buy from you again. Now, in the online remote world, they are going to buy from you whatever it is that you are selling. So if they really like you, of course, they're going to buy that first thing. But I think the most important part is there's a lot of online businesses that have upsells. They have downsells. They have different subscription models that are going to be available, right? They will add as the company grows. And for you, that's great if you have the right emotional intelligence and you were able to make friends, not just clients. If you can do that, you will be able to upsell, downsell, and even put into subscriptions a lot of different customers that you've already spoken to before, which in turn, of course, is going to make you a ton of money. So, moving on, now that you know what it is, you know, of course, that it can make you a ton of money, especially in sales. This is the last point, which is point number 3. How do you learn emotional intelligence? One of the key points, in my opinion, to learning emotional intelligence is by being self-aware. Now, I can make a whole separate video on just being self-aware, but you need to understand where you're at. How do you feel in certain situations? How do you respond in certain situations? If somebody pisses you off, do you let it get to you? Or do you let it roll off and continue with what you're trying to accomplish? You need to be super self-aware in pretty much everything. And if you can do that, that is going to amount in a crazy good level of emotional intelligence. Because if you're self-aware, you understand that you have faults, you have problems, you have certain things that are issues, you have certain things that are great, you have certain things that are fantastic. Maybe you're super intelligent, right? If you're super self-aware of all of those things, it's very easily transferable to somebody that you're talking to. Because a lot of the times in sales, there are people that you'll see, they have faults and they have flaws and they have little annoyances, right? But they also have great things about them too. And if you're able to be self-aware in that moment, when they make a mistake, you're able to have good emotional intelligence, calm down, and understand that, hey, this is just based off of their experiences. This is just based off of something that they've had in the past. Let me change that instead of getting mad at that person. Now, the second piece of how you learn it, and this to me is probably the most important, is practice actively listening. If you can just sit in a conversation, whether it's with a family member, a friend, or even if you're in sales, a prospect, and just don't talk, just listen and actively listen. And what I mean by actively listening is listen with intent. Understand what they're saying, how they're saying it, each word that they're using. Why did they use that word? If you can focus on actively listening, that is going to increase your emotional intelligence a lot, because you're able to listen to exactly what's being said and how it's being said, which is a direct translation to how you should respond. So if you're actively listening, that's going to translate immensely into your emotional intelligence, because you will be able to respond correctly in the right situations at the right time and in the right way. And then the last piece of how you can actually learn it, and this is just a personal opinion from me directly, because one thing that I try to do, especially when I was in sales, is I try to be honest always and make sure to be kind as possible. I was there to serve, not there to sell, and that made me a lot of money in turn. But one thing that I did was I practiced empathizing. Whatever their situation was, whatever things that they were dealing with, if they didn't have enough money to be able to afford a certain product or service I would empathize with that and figure out, hey, if I didn't have that much money, I would be scared too. Let's attack that problem and figure out how we can not be as scared and actually budget through what you have available. Empathizing is going to make you a much more emotional, intelligent person and be able to actually make a lot of money, especially if you're in sales. Now, if you're not in sales, I do have a little thing for you down below. It is a free training. Click the link below to be able to see that, so you can see maybe you want to get into sales. Maybe you like sales. Maybe you have no idea what it is. That will inform you. Maybe you really want to get into it, and there's actually an opportunity to do that in that link as well. So click that below. And of course, if you like this video, I'm really trying to grow this channel. I only have 500 subscribers, so I'm trying to grow it as much as possible. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and help me grow this channel so I can get this out to more people. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.